G'day you mob, Pete here, and this is another episode of Aussie English, the number one place for anyone and everyone wanting to learn Australian English. So today I have a Goss episode for you where I sit down with my old man, my father, Ian Smisson, and we talk about the week's news, whether locally down under here in Australia or non-locally overseas in other parts of the world. Okay, and we sometimes also talk about whatever comes to mind, right? If we can think of something interesting to share with you guys related to us or Australia, we also talk about that in the Goss. So these episodes are specifically designed to try and give you content about many different topics where we're obviously speaking in English and there are multiple people having a natural and spontaneous conversation in English. So it is particularly good to improve your listening skills. In order to complement that though, I really recommend that you join the podcast membership or the academy membership at aussieenglish.com.au, where you will get access to the full transcripts of these episodes, the PDFs, the downloads, and you can also use the online PDF reader to read and listen at the same time. Okay, so if you really want to improve your listening skills fast, get the transcript, listen and read at the same time, keep practicing, and that is the quickest way to level up your English. Anyway, I've been rabbiting on a bit. I've been talking a bit. Let's just get into this episode, guys. Smack the bird, and let's get into it.
Dad.
Pete.
And I guess I can...
Hopefully you could hear Pete because I tried to...
She stopped purring as soon as she put the
I was
microphone next
expecting
to her.
that. I was like, as soon as I moved the
She's
microphone,
looking at
she's going to be like, what?
Can I eat that?
Yeah. She's probably sitting here waiting for food.
Well, don't move. You mentioned the word food.
I know. She's like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on!
So we previously did an episode on interesting English expressions and their strange origins.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some slang to do the equivalent with slang.
Australian slang rather than sort of historic expressions. So this one, you've got one, have you?
I've got 10.
Oh, I got a website that's got 21.
Oh, okay. Well, we can go through yours and we can just do mine.
They'll probably
next time.
double up.
Yeah, we can just do mine next time. So
and
what's the website?
It's babbel.com, which is a language thing, and they've got a page called 21 Essential Australian Expressions.
I love these. We'll have to review them. How accurate?
Yeah, well, do we want to do all 21 or just cherry pick?
Yeah, we can go through it.
Yeah, quickly, go. Good on you.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done.
Good job.
In fact, it actually means well done, good stuff.
Yeah.
And interestingly, this one, I'm glad this was first because this relates to your sister when she was on exchange as a university student at the University of British Columbia in Canada. Mm-hmm. And because she was on exchange, she used to hang out with a lot of other exchange students, most of whom were European.
Yeah.
And so English not being their first language, she used to use this expression, oh, good on you, mm-hmm. and they went, what's going on here? And there was another one about on your bike, mm-hmm. which I don't think is in this list. But on your bike, what does on your bike mean in Australia?
Well, it can mean a few things. It could mean like you don't believe what someone's saying, like they're full of shit, and you're like, oh, yeah.
On your bike just means piss off. But go away.
Yeah, you could also say like, all right, I'm going to go home and I'm going to get on my bike, or the idea of getting on your bike.
But just generally, an instruction to on your bike just means go away.
Get the fuck out of here.
Whereas they used to interpret it as, oh, let's go out together. Because the Dutch, on your bike, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
But the good on you has two ways of saying it. Because if I say to you, good on you, that means
well done.
Well done. If I say good on you,
you're skeptical,
means you're
sarcastic.
An idiot. Sarcastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of even Americans can't pick the difference in that Australian.
Well, they wouldn't know it in the first place, right?
But they'll recognise one, but they won't recognise the ironic one. The second one. Yeah. Good on you. And they go, oh, thanks.
Yeah. Well, cheers.
Right. You little ripper.
Oh, it's something awesome. You would say it when something awesome has happened, like you beauty, you little ripper.
Terrific.
Awesome. Well done.
In fact, you little beauty is the other one. Mm-hmm. You beauty or you ripper. Yeah.
You little ripper. I think that is the classic scene from The Castle when Daryl Kerrigan wins the court case.
Yeah.
He stands up in the middle of the court and says, you little ripper. And the judges are all like, what? Like, this is inappropriate.
Yes, yeah. If you want a movie of Australian expressions,
Oh my gosh, the castle, and it's
The
created
castle.
a whole bunch of dreaming. Tell him he's dreaming.
Tell him he's dreaming.
It's the vibe. It's the vibe of the thing. There's a whole bunch of these that Aussies use.
To crack onto somebody.
To crack onto someone is to pass at to make a pass at someone.
Yeah,
to flirt
try and
with
kiss them or to pick them up. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could also use to crack on to mean like keep going.
Yeah, to crack on in general just means to keep trying.
Yeah, we should crack on. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, as opposed to crack on to
But
someone.
like at a pub or something, if you were drinking a beer and some girl came up to me or you or whatever, and was like,
that,
"Hey,
mate."
how's it going?"
Yeah.
You might be like, "You cracking on to me? I've got a wife, mate. What are you doing?"
Exactly. Have a whinge.
Complain.
Yep.
Yeah, have a whinge, have a cry.
Yeah.
To complain about something. What is he having a whinge about now? And I would use this often it's like belittling because it's sort of childlike language.
Yeah.
So with my kids, I'm always saying they're whinging.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say that about an adult, you're almost belittling them because you're likening them to being a child.
Yes.
And so it has this extra thing to it.
That whiny sort of.
So like you use any of that kind of like have a cry,
Yeah.
have a whinge, use that language that's related to kids and how they complain and get upset. If you use that on adults, it has an extra layer of offence because you're likening them to children. Mm-hmm. You have a whinge, mate.
Yeah, which is often followed up by, which I don't think is on this list, by harden the fuck up.
Well, yeah, what is it again? The full one is
take a dose of cement and harden the fuck up.
Have a teaspoon of cement.
It means get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pom.
10-pound pom, is that what it is?
Well, pom, as in somebody who's British.
Yeah, exactly. I think it comes from, is it pomme de terre or pomegranate?
No, pomegranate.
Pomegranate, is it?
Which is allegedly comes from people British people typically were very pale-skinned when they came to Australia and they went out in the Australian sun and turned bright red like a pomegranate.
So when you cut it, we call them lobsters, right? You go to Byron Bay or, what's the beach again? God, Bondi Beach, and you just go for a walk, and you'll see all of these Brits who just arrived that last day or whatever, and they're bright red from being sunburnt. Do you know why it is that we have way more UV here? It's not about the ozone layer as much as I thought it was back in the day.
Well, partly it's because of the latitude.
It's not entirely. It's because the way that the Earth goes around the sun, for our summer, we're actually something like 500,000 miles closer to the sun. Yeah. So the UV is more intense. So it's for our summers, it's like an oval shape going around the sun, and it's shifted slightly so that we get closer. Yeah, so it's related to that.
Yeah, but also the latitude, because people, if you come from the northern United States, you're in the sort of high 40 latitudes. Canada, you're in the 50s. England and most of Northern Europe is in the 50s degrees latitude. Yeah. Where, as far south as you can go without being in Tasmania, in Australia, and we're in the high 30s. We're 37.5 degrees south.
But that'd be like southern Spain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I'm sure the same thing happens when Britons go to Spain for their summer holidays as they get sunburned. But the being closer has probably got a lot to do with it as well. All right, it's chockers in here.
Very full. Chock-a-block.
It's crowded. Chock-a-block.
I want to know the origin of that one. I haven't looked it up.
No, they don't say.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up at some point.
No.
The chock-a-block is very full. So, like, if you had an esky full of drinks, you could say it's chock-a-block.
It's chockers. Or you walk into a pub and you can't get in because there's too many people.
It's chockers.
It's chockers in here,
and it's one of those cool ones where it's been shortened.
It's a contraction from another expression, like chock-a-block.
And then chockers.
And then chockers, yeah.
And chockers.
Crack a tinny.
Open a can of beer?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could use tinny for any kind of alcoholic
drink. You can, but it's only ever called, I'm sitting here holding an empty Diet Coke.
But there's no alcohol in it.
But there's no alcohol in it. And even
a
vodka and tonic or something in a can, you wouldn't call a tinny.
So you
reckon
a beer. You reckon when you were growing up, if you had a mix of these drinks in cans in the esky and you said chuck us a tinny, someone would definitely
say there's no beer in here, mate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. To chunder.
To throw up.
Yep.
And there's a funny, like, isn't there that na 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 Chanda?
Yeah.
So the song AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
You would have that sort of a joke when you got too drunk or whatever, and you were looking a bit sick or feeling bad. Everyone would start singing that na 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 na.
And what's the other popular song that's in that word?
Chanda.
Is in? Yeah.
Thunder. I don't know.
No, it's in Men at Work's Down Under.
Down Under.
Yeah.
Okay. At what part? You mean Chanda, or you mean the word
Chanda? The word Chanda.
Yes, yeah. He was having a Chanda or whatever. Yeah.
Barbie.
That's where men Chanda.
Yes.
That's right.
Barbie.
It could be a Barbie doll, but it's usually a barbecue.
A barbecue, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where you're going to put some food, chuck some snags on the Barbie.
Yeah, chuck some snags on the Barbie. A snag is a sausage.
And it can also be the event of having a barbie.
Having a Barbie. We're having a Barbie. It's not necessarily the device upon which you cook food.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
A grill.
Like in Portuguese, they have different words for those two things.
Yeah.
They're similar. I think it's churrasqueiro and churrasco. It might be churrasqueira. I don't know. It was one of those two. I've forgotten. But they have those different ones to differentiate between the item itself and the event.
Thing. Yeah.
Whereas we would just use Barbie.
A Barbie.
Yeah. And it's like...
a barbecue is a party at which a barbecue will be used to cook food.
Yeah.
Arvo.
That's an easy one. Afternoon.
Yeah.
What time are you coming over the Savo?
The Savo.
You know something really cool that I noticed about Australian English when I was doing some of these lessons? We have these phrases of like this morning, this afternoon, this evening. But the way pretty much all Australians will say it is by taking the S from this and putting it onto the start of the next word.
This morning.
Yeah. And also, instead of saying they'll make it sound like the.
This morning.
So it's almost like you've got the as in
this morning
the.
becomes the noun.
Yes, morning, s'evening, savo, s'afternoon. Yeah, I'll see you this afternoon.
Yeah.
When they're actually saying this afternoon. But you would never do it with anything else. Like this time, I'll see you at this time. No one would ever say that.
know.
But for some reason, we do it with the savo, this evening, this morning.
Yeah.
It's a very weird, peculiar thing I've noticed.
Ciggy.
Cigarette.
Correct.
Yeah, no one's smoking any cigarettes these days. Mosquito.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brekkie.
Breakfast.
Yep.
There's a lot of these that are
E and O on the end of things.
And Sanger. Sandwich.
Here we go. This is a multiple one. Chuck on some tracky ducks. Speak English. Chuck on some tracky dacks.
To put on some tracksuit pants.
Correct.
Yeah, tracky dacks. And chuck something on.
Chuck is a expression for throw. Mm-hmm. And then people would say throw on some clothes, but
it's like put.
It means to put on.
Chuck some snags on the Barbie. Chuck us a beer. Yeah. It's to do with something moving from one place to another.
Yeah,
right?
but it's a weird one because chuck something on the Barbie, you could actually throw it on the barbecue.
But that's
drop
where
it on
it's
the
from, right? I know. To roughly do it,
To chuck on some pants.
Yeah.
There's no throwing involved in this.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting one that pairs with that is grab.
Yeah.
Like grab us a beer, I might grab a coffee because you're not literally going, give me that. Give me that. Give me that damn coffee. You're just getting it, right? Yeah. So it's interesting when we have those kind of informal slang terms or verbs for things like put, give, take, get.
Wanker.
Someone who masturbates.
Yeah, well, that's the formal definition.
Yeah, I love though that became like a negative thing. Like
I know.
Someone who, this guy is a masturbator, he's a wanker, like he's a very bad person.
So it means an idiot or an arrogant person.
And we use it pretty frequently in Australia. What a fucking wanker.
Yeah. But I think it's actually, when you sort of analyse it, it sort of makes sense. I mean, masturbating is about giving yourself pleasure.
Yeah, you can't get it from someone else.
Whereas, when we insult somebody as a wanker, they're just up themselves. They're full of themselves. It's all about them. So it sort of makes sense. Mate.
A friend. Buddy, how are you, mate?
Yeah, bludger.
A lazy person.
Correct.
He's a bludger. He's a dole bludger. Someone who's on the dole. He gets money from the government. He's a dole bludger.
Yeah. Bogan.
That one's a hard one, like an uncouth, uneducated person of the lower class usually. But it's
typically.
It's now, you can make a lot of money and still be a bogan. Like you can have certain jobs that earn a lot of income.
And you can have
bogan attitudes and behaviours.
It used to be, when I was a kid, it was always aimed at people that you considered to be lower socioeconomic, working class.
And it would have been one of those things where everyone else was a bogan. You weren't a bogan.
Yeah,
Everyone else was...
I'm working class, but I'm not a bogan.
Yeah. But it's sort of lost its negativity, I feel. Whereas nowadays you'll have people say, yeah, I'm a bit of a bogan. And it's not really like, ooh, gross.
Yeah.
It's just seen as, okay, they're probably rough around the edges and, behave a certain way.
Depending on where you come from, Melbourne and Sydney, this is true, often called Westies.
Oh, that would be, from the west side
western
of the
suburbs,
city,
which typically were the more working class suburbs in Melbourne and Sydney.
Well, I guess they would have been the more recent ones that were cheaper and easier to live in, right?
Exactly.
Because they were developed later.
And they've also got one here, Cubs.
A cashed up bogan.
Yeah.
So they're the bogans that have a lot of money, often tradies, right, that have lots
and
of
fishing
expensive
boats.
gears and, exactly.
And this one's very different from if you're from North America, to be pissed.
Well, it could be multiple things, right?
Yeah, but in Australian slang,
well, it could be
if
drunk.
you're pissed, you're drunk.
But it could be angry as well.
Yeah, but that's the American version. The Americans
really?
talk. Yeah,
Well,
Americans
I use both. Yeah.
Yeah, but we've just
pissed.
accepted that because of American culture's infiltrated movies.
You drank
and
some
TV.
piss and you got pissed.
Yeah, I got pissed. Doesn't mean you got
drunk.
angry. It means you got drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Fanny.
Vagina.
Yeah.
Americans would use
Americans
that for your
in
butt.
English use it for meaning backside.
Yeah, what is it again? It's that Fran Fine, the nanny named Fran, she got kicked out on her fanny.
Yeah.
We used to always laugh at
I
that
know.
intro to that TV show because I think she gets thrown out of her home or whatever and she lands on her butt.
Yeah.
And because her name is Fran, I guess they rhyme it with Fanny. And I remember just being like, how on earth did she land on her vagina?
I know.
Like,
that requires some
yeah, Jesus Christ.
fair gymnastics.
I know, I remember hearing that for the first, because fanny is the kind of word in English, in Australian English, that you would use as a child talking about vaginas.
Yes.
Like as a kid at primary school, my God, her dress came off and you could see her fanny. It's like willy.
Yes.
I would never say willy or fanny now as an adult. But when I was a little kid, you would say, girls have fannies and boys have willies.
Yeah.
But it's just not used anymore. So it always makes us laugh when we hear Americans talk about fanny packs.
Yeah, exactly.
The bum bags, we would call them, but they call them fanny packs. And it's just like, it's just so weird. Like I remember Joe Rogan would use that. He'd be like, I have my fanny pack on.
Yeah.
And you just like, it just sounds so weird seeing a grown man
talk about
saying fanny. It's just like, what the hell, dude?
I know.
Because it's not even just a vagina; it's a young girl. Like it's just such a weird word. Yeah. Talk about words you just haven't heard since you were in primary school.
I know. Yeah. All right. Thong.
Flip flops, or what would you call them? They're not sandals.
Well, they are.
I always find it so hard to find the other words.
They're typically plastic or used to be rubber sandals that don't have a heel.
I always find it so
nothing behind your heel. It's just two straps, and as opposed to in North America, a thong is what we would call a G-string.
Yeah. But we're so used to hearing it that it's sort of interchangeable, right? But they go on your feet. Mm-hmm. There's a really funny Carl Barron comedy sketch where he's like, I can't do it really justice, but he was talking about that miscommunication between thongs, and he's like, oh, you could, she was wearing thongs, and the American's like, what? You could see her thong? And he's like, yeah, mate, they're on her feet. Yeah. And he's like, why'd she have them on her feet? And he's like, I don't know, I wear them. And he's like, you wear thongs?
Yeah, we had an American friend who was in Australia at that University of Melbourne on sabbatical leave. And he told this story of walking into a large store in Melbourne to buy braces, as in, to hold up his pants. But being an American, he called them suspenders. And he kept getting referred to the women's lingerie department and couldn't work out what was going on.
Because they're the equivalent. They're
suspenders to hold up
women's lingerie, right? Yeah, their pants or their
holding up stockings.
Underwear. Stockings, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so, and that was that. Yeah, and we then said, oh yeah, what about thongs?
There's a whole bunch of those though, right? Yeah. Like, who was I chatting to recently?
So that's the 21.
I had one of my students from, I think he was from India, but he'd learnt like English since a young age and had travelled around the world, and he was saying that he would always say root for something.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, dude, Barrack.
No.
Because I was like, Yeah, you root for a team in
Support
America
barrack.
or Canada. You root for a team. You barrack for the team. But here, root means to have sex.
Yeah.
You know, or you could root around for something. It's like to look for something in a
for
bag
it.
or whatever. But
Yeah.
root, you would say like, oh, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for you going, you're having sex for your football team?
Yeah, how's that helping?
I'm sure they can do it by themselves.
Yeah, that's it. I was always like, how's that going to help them win? Yeah. So, yeah, 21 of them, we smashed it out.
Yeah, we added rooting.
Did you have any favourites that you were going to bring along or any
No,
discussions or
they were
something?
I just found those. I thought that was just an interesting one. People go and look on up themselves if they wanted to. Yeah,
All right. You'll have to let us know what your favourites are, guys, and we'll chat to you next time.
Yeah, give us some more to talk about.
See you guys.
Bye.